Happily ever after? Are you looking for your happily ever after still? What? Is it love? Is it life? Is it work? Is it friends? How about I challenge you to start trying to get your happily ever since? I am also part of the generation that was groomed and grown by television and stories that always ended unhappily ever after. The end. Well, news for you. Life starts there. It might stop there as a phase, but there is where everything starts. So very young, I realized that I rather go for a happily ever since than a happily ever after, which means that I have a distinct drive, I'm gonna say, to what happens next. I know it might be weird sometimes, but I am always thinking, okay, if life and I have brought me here, how do I sustain what I have? I'm not always good at it, but my focus is in what happens since then. The achievement is not achieving it. The achievement is that at the end of your life or many, many years later, you still enjoy that, what you got. If not, what happened? It was just it light flickered? Did it just come and go? Many a times we hear stories and we are trained in achieving goals. And we're very good in achieving goals. And by the way, what I'm gonna say has a downwards as well, like has a not so nice um, way of or consequence that I will tell you about it that you need to be aware. But let's say you were trying to find that happily ever after with your partner. And yes, you met, and yes, you fell in love. Hopefully, not it was a good relationship, and then life needs you to grow. Either you decide which are the stages, the steps, the phases, or life will decide it for you. And in the relationship part, it's kind of a mutual thing. That's the difficult thing with the relationship, but it can be fun. In the rest of the areas of your life, you are the one who wants to decide. You want to be the one deciding, is what I mean to say. So, what's next? And when I say what's next, I don't mean what's your next goal. What's the next thing that needs to happen now that I have achieved this goal, or when I achieve that goal, so that it becomes it and it does it's not a goal anymore, it becomes gold in your life. And you enjoy it for many, many years until it changes again and it becomes a new goal or gold, right? So happily ever since is a way, it's a metaphor for those of us who want to not only achieve but thrive. And not only thrive but be abundant and plenty and wealthy. Now, I said it had a not so nice consequence, which is that sometimes we get distracted with the what's coming next and what do I need to do, and it worries us so much that we even achieve the goal and we don't celebrate it, or we just go through, like we step on it, stomp on it, and go ahead to the next step. So it does require us to pause and decipher an amazing way, to a unique way to celebrate, so that our life, our brain, our central nervous system, our emotions, our thoughts, our minds, our um, everything, our heart, kind of brings it, embeds it in our cells, incorporates it in our memories, and then we move to the sustainability part. But the most important thing that I have gotten out of the happily ever since is that I never wait for life to bring me the challenges. Many a time, don't get me wrong, it does, but many a times it is me deciding which are the challenges. I turn something very good into a good challenge, so that I go to that next step, so that this grows into that, and this grows into that, and this grows into that. And that is how it becomes easier to progress, it becomes easier to achieve a lot of things, and help a lot of people, and grow in many ways. And life becomes a game, life becomes interesting, life becomes you deciding where to, when to, how to. And then game on, because don't think that life is not gonna bring some challenges as well. But at least you have decided that this is something that's worth keeping in your life. When we don't decide the happily ever since, we tend to give things, we take things for granted. And we think that they're always gonna stay there, and they're always gonna stay the same. I don't suggest you break your back. What I suggest is that you make it fun and find ways to remember whenever you think of something. Oh, I'm happily something ever since that happened before. Did you get that? I'll say it again. I am happily alive ever since I recover from my dysautonomia. I'm happy ever since. I'm happily in love ever since I met this person and we became that. I'm happily in this position, in this position, ever since I was promoted. I'm happily healthy ever since that happened. And that happened, that happily ever after, that moment could be a good one or a bad one. But getting into the habit of the happily ever since is what might just change your life. It's what might just change your game, and what might just bring you more happiness and more joy, and the opportunity to do something with everything that you already have. So, what's your next happily ever since? And good luck, because this is not the end, this is the new beginning.